All right. Are we on? Well, then let's just get it started. Hello, everyone. My name is Khadijah Toutou. I first want to go ahead and thank Mr. Les Brown for doing this and training us, and we are amongst greatness. I want to also thank my coach, John Talarico, who's worked tirelessly day and night with me and has had much patience. I want to thank my friend, Crystal, for helping me. I want to thank my mother, of course. I want to thank God for waking me up for another day. And I just want to present to you how gratitude is so important. When you have gratitude for people, people show you a different side of them. When you have gratitude for people, it allows people to show you and yourself to the world. Now, this takes me back to a time in Shanghai, China, about 3 years ago or so. I was on the train. And it was quite interesting because on this train ride that day, it was super crowded. I mean, in China, there are a lot of people. I mean, it's like sardines packed. And I wish I was joking, but I'm being so serious. Sardines totally packed. We're all sitting on the train, and there's this man coming through, and he's hitting people, like just hitting people. And I'm watching them, and they're all like, like almost like cursing the man out. And so he comes up to me, and then he hits me. And I'm like, ouch. And I turn around and I realize this man was blind. He was hitting people with his cane. Now, in that moment, I realized, wow, what patience it takes to turn around and to be able to realize, okay, you know what? Sometimes it's okay to hold off on whatever anger, whatever emotion that you're feeling, because it's always better to respond than it is to react. So of course I walk on and I walk into the middle school. It's my first day. I walk in, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, because of course I have heels on. I walk in and I'm excited to meet the new students. And I'm like, hello. And I am greeted with the children. Tasha Fejo Ren. Tasha Fejo Ren. See, what the children didn't know was I had a working relationship with the Chinese language. So I understood exactly what they were saying. So once again, in my face that day, I'm getting presented with the option. Do I react or do I respond? And what does that reaction and what does that response look like? I stayed quiet. I knew the lesson that we were going to learn that day. It couldn't be that lesson. Have you ever had an opportunity or a chance to choose, and you're conscious enough to choose whether you're going to react or respond? I want you to type 3 in the comment box. I'm going to wait for you a second. I want you to type 3 in the comment box. Yes, okay. I want you to think for a second, and I want you to think about what you would do if you were the teacher in that circumstance. Would you blame it on racism? What would you do? Because in that moment, I realized, write this down. Lions don't always have to roar. Let me say that again. Lionesses don't always have to roar. I didn't shout at them. I didn't yell at them because, in fact, I knew that although the world is 40% children, those children are 100% of our future. And me being their teacher, well, guess what? That means I am the facilitator, leading them up to the mountain to come down into the promised land because I chose that day to be high class. See, high class isn't something you can just buy. It's not something you can just spend your money on and just go ahead and get. It's not something that just, sits on a table and you can just pick it up and say, oh, I'm going to be high class today. No. See, high class is when you go and do your homework. See, I knew that day I had to go home and do my homework. And what did my homework look like? Yeah, some days it consisted of me crying. Some days it consisted of me wondering why a skin so dark as mine was always so challenged. I remember one day a child was challenged by me. And he began to rub my face. And he's like, I can't get it off of her. And I began wondering, what is he doing? Is everything okay? What's going on? And his mother's over there, stop it, stop doing that to Toutou, stop. And he kept going, Miss Toutou, I love you. I just don't want you to be so dirty. See, that's the moment I realized this isn't a bias. I'm not even sure it's a prejudice. Sometimes you have to understand people are where they're at. And you have to assist them into knowledge. Because a lot of the times when you give the knowledge, it won't be rejected. Oftentimes people don't know that they're seeking what they're seeking because what you're seeking is always seeking you. That's what my coach, Mr. John Tallarico, tells me. See, I had to make the choice not to see obstacles and only to see the objectives, as Napoleon Hill once said. So I knew going back to class that day, I couldn't just teach any lesson. So I had to teach them something they could hold on to so they could teach themselves. So we recited, hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. And they all said together, I said, who is that poem by? And they said, Langston Hughes. See, I didn't have to tell them who they are or what they are or even what they were doing. See, I knew from experience, the best teacher is that experience in itself. See, I knew and I held close to me a concept and a term from the South African Xhosa and Zulu language. Ubuntu. Ubuntu means I am because you are. Can everyone write that in the chat box, please? I am because you are. See, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know who you are. Because, like James Allen said, circumstance, it only proves what kind of man you are. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. And he is who you choose to be. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you yourself run into these things, please make sure you know that lions don't always have to roar, and neither do lionesses. Because you have the choice to respond or react. Hold yourself up because you know that your way has been paved for. Hold your head high with high class because you are judged by the content of your character and not your skin. And make sure you don't see any obstacles and you only see the objectives and stay focused on the goal. And lastly, hold fast to your dreams. Ubuntu. I am because you are, and I know who I am. I'm Khadijah Toutou. If you would like to consult with me or anything, please visit www.khadijahtoutou.com. That's www.khadijahtou.com. Thank you so much for listening. It was a plum pleasing pleasure.
Yes, I am because you are. You better preach, Miss Khadijah. Okay.
Yes.
I know it now. I got you. Thank you so much.